The King is an understable distance driver from Westside Discs, and this thing goes far. Let's start with the feel of the King. So the King is a very fast disc, so it has a very wide rim. It's a 14 speed and its rim feels every bit of that 14 speed. It's very wide and it's actually deeper than I expected. A lot of understable discs will be a little bit shallower, so they're a little bit harder to get a grip on if you maybe have bigger hands, but the King is nice and deep so you can get a grip on it very easily. Now if you have smaller hands, I have generally medium hands and I don't have a problem with the King, but if you tend to have smaller hands, that's going to be a little bit harder to grab onto, so just something to keep a note of. This plastic here, my King is in the VIP plastic. This plastic is fairly grippy, not quite as grippy as the tournament plastic, and discs in the VIP plastic tend to be a little bit more overstable than something in the tournament plastic. But these discs are very durable. I can throw this King for a long time and trust that it's not going to beat in too quickly. As far as the flight, the numbers on this disc is a speed 14, a glide 5, a turn of -1, and a fade of 4. And I would say the speed and the glide are fairly accurate, but I found the King to have just a little bit more turn and a little bit less fade. I might call it -2, 3, but that really depends on who's throwing it. When I threw the King on a Hyzer release, if I threw it hard enough, it would have a nice good turn, it would flip to flat and glide to the right before coming back and finishing straight or maybe even a little bit left. This is a fantastic distance shot. If you're looking for that disc that's going to push your distance and help you get every bit of the power that you have, the King is going to be a great disc for that. On a flat release, I could put the King up even higher than before. And this would be like a maximum distance situation. Not really something I would use on the course that often, but I could put it up nice and high and flat, and if I threw it really hard, it would glide way over to the right and stay up in the air for a long time. Because it does have that 5 glide, it's going to get that distance. It's going to stay up in the air before it fades out at the end. And on an Anheuser release, I could roll this disc, but it's a little bit faster than what I like for my rollers, because on my rollers, I tend not to throw quite as hard as I do for a distance shot. But if you are a higher arm speed thrower, you are going to be able to roll this King. Just put it out on a nice Anheuser angle and make sure you pop it hard, and it will dive into the ground and roll a nice straight line with the right finish on it. I did try to throw this disc forehand a couple times, but my forehand isn't great for those understable discs. I have problems with that Hyzer release, and so I could get this disc to flip up and go fairly far when I threw it correctly. So if you have a clean forehand release, you're definitely going to want to check out the King for a maximum distance type shot. So what shots would I use the King for? I would use the King for on an open shot when I need to go for absolute maximum distance. I can use that powerful Hyzer release to get the disc to turn and work for me and get that extra distance down the fairway. Or I could also use it in the woods. I don't have a super far forehand, so if I wanted something that I could Hyzer out of my hand and would work to the right towards the end of its shot, the King is going to fade out and finish straight, but it is going to roughly shape that same line as a maximum distance forehand. So I can see using the King as a substitute for that really long forehand in the woods. So that's what I think about the Westside Discs King. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what other discs I should review, and I'm going to pick my favorite comment and give this 174 VIP King away. So watch for a reply to your comment. Subscribe for more disc reviews and other content from Westside Discs, and I'll leave you with an excerpt from the English translation of the Kalevala about the King.
Thereupon Poyola's landlord raised on high his blade of battle, struck a heavy blow in anger, struck a second, then a third time, but he could not touch his rival, could not draw a single blood drop from the veins of Lemminkainen, skillful islander and hero.